Hi, welcome to Statistics and Probability. We're going to begin with Chapter 1. Chapter 1 is Sampling and Data, and this is just all vocab and concepts that we're going to use throughout the entire course. So, we're going to use a lot of statistics and probability jargon, and so we have to be able to use it and that you can understand and remember what it is. So it's just basically a crash course in terminology and vocab. All right, let's get started. So we're going to start with section 1.1, and we're going to just talk about definitions of statistics, probability, and key terms. So the idea behind statistics and probability is giving you more awareness of how studies are conducted and asking the right questions, because we have a lot, especially during presidential elections, during the crisis, the COVID-19 crisis. There is so many statistics that come out, and many of the times I end up disproving those statistics. It's just not reasonable to make certain conclusions during certain collection of data. And the way it's collected, the number of people in your survey, the way you survey, the way you select your subjects. I mean, just so many things can go wrong, lurking variables. So we're going to discuss all of those things and kind of have a better idea of how to read statistics, understand statistics, and just be able to make better decisions about what statistics are given to us. So, when we talk about statistics, we talk about the science of collecting, organizing, analyzing, interpreting data in order to make decisions. And so we call the process of organizing and summarizing data descriptive statistics, and the formal methods in which how we draw conclusions is inferential statistics. So there's two pieces to our class here. The first half of the class, you're going to see that all we're going to be doing is talking about collecting and organizing and analyzing some data, right? So that means we're going to collect data, talk about mean, median, standard deviation, all that stuff. And then we get into the second half, which we begin to actually draw conclusions from the data. There's not a lot we can draw from just descriptive statistics, but how we make conclusions from research is inferential statistics. Okay, so the goal of statistics is to gain an understanding of the data. And the way we gain understanding of the data is understanding how it's collected, how we summarize it, where did it all come from, and what was the intent of the research. We're going to use technology for calculations. All our the course is going to be through technology. I will demonstrate towards the beginning of the course how to do it by hand, because we should all be able to see what is happening by hand, how we come to those formulas. But in the end, really, in real life, and you're in a job, you're going to be using technology like SPSS, Minitab. Even Excel has a really robust statistics uh, module that we'll use in the class. So just so you know, we want to gain understanding and how much data can tell us. Data can tell us a little too much or too little or just so much, right? So that is kind of the idea. And then as we grasp the basics of the statistics, we can make meaningful statistical conclusions. And I will always remind you of this through the course. Okay, so a popular program boasted remarkable reading achievements called Your Baby Can Read. So some of you may remember that. Those info commercials, and it promises that essentially with some DVDs, flashcards, pop-up books, and some help from the parents, that a preschooler could learn to read before they even entered kindergarten. Does this mean all parents should buy and use this program? So you watch the info commercial, they say, whoa, and I have to admit, when I had my first son, this info commercial came up. And I was like, this is so cool. I'm going to buy this. And I bought it. I bought it. And I did the exercises with my son. And did it help him read? Did he read before kindergarten? No, not really. But did it enrich his reading process? Yeah, like he could cite words. He could, take the picture and associate it with the sight word. So there weren't a lot of things that he could do, but essentially, like to have him read by the age 4, it just wasn't going to happen, right? And really, their brain isn't developed that far ahead, anyways, to comprehend that much. But I gave in and I bought it, right? So, so should you buy it? And the answer is, well, maybe, right? Like I did, like I'm like a mathematician, but I said maybe I'm going to buy it. So the idea is, what do you think? Make a good, sound decision, right? So does it mean all parents should buy and use this program? No, not necessarily, right? And why is that, right? So let's list a couple of things. Well, let's think about other factors that we take in consideration why a child can read before the age 5 or before kindergarten. Um, the first thing I think about is a child could learn how to read just from genetics. Maybe their brain is advanced, right? So genetics is going to take a big factor into whether the child can read before kindergarten and be able to accept this program of your baby can read. Another one is, well, what if um, they're not capable yet? Like you see that they have a learning disability, right? So, and you have to work around that. And really, you don't see the learning disabilities until a child is about 18 months to 2 years old. Okay. All right, moving on to probability. Now, we're going to have a whole chapter on just probability and probability formulas in addition to everything we're going to do with inferential statistics. But it's important that we touch it because statistics and probability are not separate. They go hand in hand, and you're going to see everything integrated towards chapter 9. So, in probability, really, we know what probability is, right? We all love gambling. We love lottery, right? It's just a chance of winning, right? That's how we think of it. It's a likelihood of an event occurring. And so the probability is just a tool that we use in math and statistics to study randomness. So many events are random, like winning the lottery. The probability of winning the lottery is so low, like, but there's a chance, right? But the probability is so close to zero. That's why we talk about luck a lot. Like, well, we were lucky because the chances are so small that you got it. You won the lottery. So we like to study randomness, and with this, we'd like to study the likelihood of an event occurring. So, theory probability began with the study of games such as poker and predictions from those probabilities. For example, we like to predict the likelihood of an earthquake, right? A rain, right? The weather is all about statistics and probability, right? The chance it's going to rain. There's a 30% chance it will rain, right? Whether you get an A in this course, we study success rates, right? Statistics around your success in these courses. Doctors use probability all the time, right, to determine whether a chance of a vaccination causing a disease will be prevented, right? And so statistics is used everywhere, and especially in marketing, right? They say like 9 out of 10 dentists recommend the toothpaste, right? I always question the 4 out of 5 dentists, like, who want to chew gum, right? Dentine.